You ever sign up for a camping trip and instead of marshmallows and s'mores, you get 5 months of pure hell? That's basically the Battle of Hurtgen Forest, the longest, dumbest, and most miserable fight the US Army ever slogged through in World War II. It was supposed to be a quick operation, 2 weeks tops. Instead, it turned into a meat grinder where the forest itself was the final boss. Planes couldn't fly in, tanks got stuck in mud, artillery just exploded in the treetops and turned into wooden shrapnel grenades. Soldiers weren't just fighting Germans, they were losing to trees. The Hurtgen Forest wasn't just trees, it was basically Mother Nature cosplaying as a death trap. Thick pines blocked aircraft so you couldn't get air support, mud ate tanks like Oreos and milk. And oh yeah, the Germans had been sitting there for years, turning the place into a giant booby trap. Mines, machine guns, bunkers, you name it. The US walked in like it was a stroll in the park, and the park said, "Welcome, here's your complimentary suffering." Artillery? Yeah, that backfired too. Instead of destroying bunkers, shells exploded in the treetops, showering soldiers with wooden spears the size of baseball bats. Imagine dodging a German bullet only to get skewered by a pine tree. Congratulations, you just lost to landscaping. And don't even get me started on the weather. Cold, wet, miserable. Soldiers were basically fighting trench foot and frostbite harder than the actual Germans. Tanks broke down, supply trucks got stuck, and hot food? Forget it, most guys were living on cold rations and depression. Meanwhile, the Germans barely had to try. They were sitting in bunkers with heaters, dry socks, and all the ammo they wanted, just letting the forest do most of the murdering. American divisions would go in at full strength, like 15,000 men, and come out limping with half that. Reinforcements would march in all confident and immediately get chewed up the same way. And the cherry on top, the whole thing dragged on for 5 months. The US racked up over 33,000 casualties. That's more than D-Day itself. All for a patch of woodland the size of a county fair. What did the Allies actually gain? Some trees. Maybe a deer. But wait, it gets worse. Right as the Americans finally clawed their way out, the Germans launched the Battle of the Bulge next door. So imagine grinding the hardest boss fight of your life, using all your supplies, losing half your party, only for the game to say, surprise. The real boss just spawned today. The Battle of Hurtgen Forest is remembered as the longest battle the US Army has ever fought, and also one of the most pointless. 5 months of misery, 33,000 men lost, and the ultimate prize was bragging rights for surviving the worst camping trip in history. So yeah, the moral of the story? If your general ever says, "Let's march through that forest, it'll be fine," run the other way.